Hello, my lovelies, and how the hell are you? I hope you're well. Welcome to Jan's Views. Jan's Views on just about anything, really. Anything I fancy, anything I want to talk about, anything I see when I'm outside. And yeah, so welcome, one and all. Don't suppose anybody be coming in, but do you know what, guys? I don't mind. I've got to say, I decided to go live earlier, so I set it all up, and then I forgot. Then I was watching TV, and I'll tell you what I've been watching in a minute, because I've actually been quite organised. Won't believe it, but I've been organised, guys. And the first thing I think we should talk about is my injury update. Do you remember me telling you in the last live stream that you didn't watch? Um, yeah, the fall I had down the steps outside, that thankfully didn't break any limbs. I don't know how I survived without breaking any limbs. But it took, I would say, 3 days for the bruising to come out. And that was sort of on top of the bulbous foot I had, because it did swell up. And yeah, it was quite a nasty injury, I must say. But so I thought I'd give you an injury update. I've been bandaging it up. I've been wearing what is it, like an ankle support, and I'm still alive, guys. Which is just as well, really. Yesterday, I think, was my first day that I didn't strap myself up. And I have to say, I think I was a bit premature, because I take my neighbour's dog out for when she needs it, because she has MS and quite often has hospital appointments. So if she knows that she's going to be leaving the dog on its own for the day, she'll let me know so that I can let myself in and take the little sweetheart out. She's a chihuahua, and she's just adorable, absolutely adorable. So adorable that I've considered getting one myself. Then I remember what it's like to have a dog, and it's just so much harder than having a cat. I'm more of a cat person, I think, because I don't have to walk it. I don't have to wipe its bum. And also they're much more independent. I find dogs a bit too needy for me. Uh, that may be because I've had 4 kids, and yeah, I'm done with needy things around me, guys. So no, as much as I love dogs, and I do, um, it's no good me having one. Also, I think because of my personality, I drive dogs bananas. I drive them nuts. Um, so yeah, whereas cats, they're like, oh, they seem to cope with me much better than dogs do. Cats are just so much easier. Anyway, so that's my update. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a good week. It's Thursday, guys. I can't believe it's Thursday. Anyway, it is. I don't know where the weeks go. I really don't. I've been very, very busy. But before I go into what I've been doing, I might as well tell you who I am. This is me, guys. Hello there, and welcome to Jan's Views. Despite being on YouTube for a few years now, I don't think I've ever done an introductory video about me, about Jan's Reviews, who now is Jan's Views. So I thought, you know, it might be quite a good idea just to let you guys know what gets me ticking that. No, it's not ticking over, is it? Anyway, so this is me, guys. And we have there we go. Okay. So they're in the jungle and they have to do loads and loads of tasks and like really horrible things. So I want to show you why is this going all funny? I don't know. Anyway, you see, the problem is if you do this when you're tired, it'll go horribly wrong, even though you've organised it all, which I have done. I have organised this. So I wanted to talk about this man here whose name is, right, just bear with me 1 second. I don't know why. Right, hang on a minute. Right. Oh, there I am. Hello. Yeah, still there. Right. I want to see how I can scroll up this. And I can't. I don't want it on full screen. Anyway, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. This is. Let me get this. Did you hear all that when I said hi or not? If not, I'll say it again. Hi, Irene. Hi, Daria. And hi, Rai. Okay, now the reason I've got this I'm a celebrity, get me out of here up is because I wanted to explain to people why it's so contentious that we have this man here in the jungle. Okay, now he's a member of parliament, so there's people saying, well, what's he doing in the jungle? He should be at work, so to speak. There's also people who remember that he was the Minister of Health when COVID was on, when the pandemic was on. And through his guidance, and I'm sure it wasn't just him, but through his guidance, we all had to do things like not have parties and not spend time with our loved ones over Christmas and all these rules. Um, Thank you, Rye. I've missed you too, darling. Anyway, but the most contentious, I think one of the most contentious rules that Matt Hancock was responsible for was that people couldn't sort of go out of their bubble. I think we had like a bubble of 8. Do you know what, guys? As usual, I'm making a right hash out of this. Why did I decide to do this? Why? Why don't I just I've just watched I'm a Celebrity and I've got Great British Bake Off to watch. Why did I think, oh yeah, go live, Jan? Because anyway, the brain goes dead, guys. Anyway, so people don't like him. That's the situation, guys. People do not like Matt Hancock. Okay, so for good reasons, because people weren't allowed to visit their loved ones. They weren't allowed to visit them in a hospital. They weren't allowed to go to funerals, and all because of this man, Matt Hancock. As I say, it's probably not all about him, but not all. You know, he couldn't have just got up one day and said, "Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll stop people doing this." No, they obviously have meetings and everything, but you know what I'm saying, guys. So he's not liked. Okay, so who's this guy? Oh, okay. Now this is somebody who's saying it's George. No, it's not. It's Gordon. I can't read. He's saying says he's not impressed by Mr. Hancock's explanation for taking part in the reality show, saying he wants to reach young people. Now, the thing is, I'm not a political person. I don't know. In my mind, politicians just talk a load of crap. I'll say it as I see it. And yeah, I- right, I'll be able to speak in a minute. I saw I'm wandering all over the place now. I saw Matt Hancock on one of my favorite um, podcasts the other week. The podcast is called Diary of a CEO, and it's run by a a dragon from over here called Stephen Bartlett. He had Matt Hancock on there, and I just felt that this guy just he spoke down to Stephen, and I thought, how dare you? You know, I just, and I've watched a lot of his podcast, Stephen's podcast, and I've never felt that way about any other guest. And he's had a lot of different guests, and he's had like problematic guests on there, trust me. But when he had Matt Hancock on, when Stephen wanted to ask him about his behavior in the pandemic, which I'll get onto in a minute, he was like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." Yeah, well, you know, you're trying to trick me into saying something. And Stephen was like, "Well, no, I'm not. I'm just, you know, I'm trying to formulate a question to you." Yes, well, you know, I'm not at liberty to do blah 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 politicians crap blah blah blah. And Stephen was like, "I haven't even asked you the question yet." And I just thought, do you know what? I don't like this guy. I don't like him. So I've made up my mind. I don't like him. Um, Seeing him in the jungle, I can understand how some people are very, very upset about it. I can fully understand that because we lost thousands and thousands of people, and thousands of people were buried alone. Al- I mean, I know they're not normally buried en masse, but you know what I mean? They didn't have a funeral. And then later on, we found out that these politicians, this guy and the Prime Minister were partying. Oh, they were all right, Jack. Yeah, they were all right over Christmas. Having the parties and getting the crackers out and singing Old Lang Syne. They're all right. But none of us were allowed to do it. So there's so many deep-rooted issues with Matt Hancock. Also, as a woman, I find his relationship that he formed whilst in lockdown. Who does that? How can he manage to do that? He managed to do it. He had a relationship outside of his marriage with another, I don't know if she's an MP. I don't know what she is. Cleaner? I don't know what she is. Anyway, someone took a picture of him snogging and fondling this woman in the Houses of Parliament. Was it the Houses of Parliament? Was it Downing Street? I don't know. It doesn't matter. He was cheating on his wife and she was cheating on her husband. So that's why a lot of people do not like Matt Hancock. I'm telling you guys, it's quite an issue. So okay, so everyone's talking about him here. Um Okay, so Matt Hancock has said, rather than looking down on reality TV, we should see it for what it is, a powerful tool to get our message heard by younger generations. What's he talking about? What an old load of crap. It's got nothing to do with getting the message out to younger generations. It's not the younger generations that watch I'm a Celebrity. They're not interested in seeing a fool of a man arsing around in the jungle. They're not. Oh, yeah, okay. Here it says, however, he was caught breaking his own rules. See, that's what I should do. Instead of trying to voice it, just read it, Jan. God's sake. Much easier. Much more pleasant to hear. Okay, however, he was caught breaking his own rules and resigned in June 2021 when an affair with an aide was exposed. Okay, is that the one? No, that's not her. Yeah. So that's what I was telling you. He has had the whip suspended, a disciplinary move in Parliament, which means he has been kicked out of the Conservative Party, but remains an MP. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, I need to read this bit because I explained it so poorly, guys. Let's bear in mind he was a father of three. Well, he still is a father of three. But the thing that I find really offensive about him, he hasn't been with this woman, what, 9 months, something like that now? And when asked about, well, what exactly did happen then? It's a bit out of order, Matt, wasn't it? And he's like, yeah, but I fell in love. I fell in love. Well, shouldn't you be in love with your wife? That's what I would say. So in the space of you like ogling this aide of yours, Gina, I think her name is. Gina? Jill? I don't know, Gina, I think. Uh, You've forgotten, right? You've forgotten that you're a married father of three, and she's forgotten that she's a married I don't know whether I think she did have kids. So he's forgotten that and allowed himself to fall in love with this aide. Yeah. And he did allow himself to fall in love with her. I'm not one of these people that think that you can't help but fall in love with somebody. You should be in control of yourself. Have a bit of self-control when you're married. Those vows should mean something to you. And I just feel that at that time, They didn't mean anything to him, to the point where he was caught snogging the face off of this woman in a public place. Well, it wasn't a public place. Well, it was in the House of the Parliament or something. Anyway, one of the people in there that really does have a problem with him is Boy George, because he said that his mother was really ill and he wasn't allowed to see her. And I don't know whether she was in a home or something, or whether she was in a hospital. I think I don't know. I can't remember. But he did say that he rang someone and said, "Please take care of my mum," and they did, and she recovered. But he cannot forgive Matt Hancock for what he put in place. And I agree with him. Thank God, I didn't lose anyone over COVID, but I know of people that did. I know of people that weren't allowed to visit them in hospital. One of my neighbours, um, his sister had a nasty fall, and he wasn't allowed to go to the hospital to see her, and then she died, and he wasn't allowed to see this sister, and it's just horrendous. And now we've got this gonk in the jungle, and getting paid 84 grand while he's in America. Oh no, 84 grand is the salary he receives, right, from being an MP. His payment for being in the jungle is 400,000. Can you believe that? 400,000 pounds for being in the jungle. It bloody makes you sick, guys. I'm sorry. It does. Anyway, moving on. We've also got Mike Tyndall in there. For those of you that aren't familiar with Brits, he's married to Zara Phillips. Zara Phillips is Princess Anne's daughter, and I gotta say, I like him. I like Mike Tyndall. He's got a personality. I like anyone with a personality. I really do. If you haven't got a personality, don't bother coming to talk to me. All right, because I'm not interested. I only like people with personality. The more, the better the personality, the better for me. I didn't say that very well, did I, guys? Really am such a twat. I'm trying to get rid of this now. Anyway, so that's all I've got to say about I'm a Celebrity. I didn't explain it very well, did I? How many is there? I think there's 11 celebrities that go over there. Some of them aren't really celebrities. They're on like reality shows. They're not really celebrities. But Boy George is in there. So that's a good catch for them this year. So now we're going to move on to another subject when I can get my act together and decide what we're going to be talking about next. What we're going to do next is this. If I can. Right. No. I'm so good at this. Okay, I'm going to take myself out. Okay, so we're going to be doing that now, and we're going to be taking a look at what's been going on social media and anything else that I think worthy of talking about to myself on here. Right. Let's talk about the community. The community I am no longer in. I was never really in it, guys. It's like I said before, I really am a this is really annoying me, guys, because I thought I'd be able to show just me, and I can't. I wanted to just show the picture, but I can't. Anyway, that's annoying. Anyway, so let's talk about what's been going on. What's been going on Twitter? Oh my God, what hasn't been going on Twitter? Why? Okay, I'm on there. Okay. So Twitter wants to show notifications. Oh, what? Why do they keep up? Something went wrong. Well, I didn't want that. Yeah, anyway. All right. So let's have a look. Let's see what's been going on Twitter. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you're looking at my Twitter. This is my Twitter. Okay, don't know why it said it like that. Okay, oh, look, I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here. Stop voting for Matt. He will clear all the tasks. Don't turn it boring and vote for the other campers. Yeah, well, they do that all the time, don't they? This was fun. They were all singing. I can't play it. They were all singing a football song. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about, really. I'm going on to my homepage. Right. We all know what this is about. Okay. Negs. Negs. God, I don't want to say that name any more than I have to be honest with you. People know how I feel. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh. Well, this is all going... This is all going very well. Very well, Jan. Well done, you moron. Anyway, never mind. I'm here. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay, so let's look at what's going on Twitter. Okay, we have the removal, once again, of the very charming Negs. Listen, anyone that calls themselves Negs, in my opinion, is not the type of person I want to be talking to. It's not the kind of person that I want to be involved with in any shape or form. I can't hide it. Anyway, this Negs, who has teamed up with DC. She's teamed up with DC. Or he's teamed up with DC, in as much as they are now in a relationship. Now, those of you that know me, that have been following me, will know I was friends with DC. And that's all I'm going to say. Put 2 and 2 together and make 5. No. Put 2 and 2 together and you'll work out what's actually gone wrong. Can you hear me now? All right. Oh, did you? Oh, hang on, I'm talking to myself. Yeah, did you? Yeah, I can't say I blame you. See, I'm rubbish at this, Rye, but I like going live and, get Tony out of Strictly. Yes, please get that man out. He's awful. He's awful. Jesus, I can't stand him. Good grief. Right, okay. So, that's DC. How do I feel about DC? I'm worried. As a friend, as one woman to another woman, I'm worried. She's banished me from her lives. She's banished me from her chats. Because I just cannot stand Negs. And I can't keep my mouth shut, guys. I've got a big mouth. So yeah, so I was barred. I was barred from her chats, which I think is a real shame because friendship should... Were we close friends? Not really, but I sort of looked out for her. I sent her messages when she was going through things. I'd send her messages saying that I had her back, that I hope she's okay, blah de blah de blah. That's as far as it went, really. I won one of her competitions, which I will be eternally grateful for. Um, because I love what she sent me, and I'm quite loyal when it comes to friends. Um, but my loyalty isn't shrouded in blindness and hypocrisy, and I've always said what I think of Negs, and it doesn't change. It really doesn't change. Just because she's now having a relationship with him doesn't mean that I think any differently of him. In my opinion, I've made up my own opinion about this man, and I won't have it changed. I'm sorry, I'm too old in the tooth for that. I make up my own um decisions, opinions about people, and I'm too, long in the tooth to change my mind. I'm not skittish in that way. Friendships mean too much for me to say, all right, then, because you've fallen in love with him, he must be wonderful. No, no, so that's the situation with DC, and also the situation with Carsten and D, which, I'm really sad about. Um, because I saw them as friends. And yeah, but anyway, we move on, guys. We move on. And the most important thing for me is to stay true to myself. I know it sounds, a bit cliched, but it's how I roll. I'm quite headstrong. And if I've made a decision about something, I will not have it changed. I've had people say, "Oh, well, you're very, black and white in your thinking." Yeah, perhaps I am. I ain't going to change now, though, am I? I haven't got to this age, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be a completely different person. And I see what goes on. I see what goes on in online, and yeah. So anyway, so that's the next situation. He can rot. In my opinion, he can rot in hell. The other thing that's going on online is Foodie Beauty. Now, I don't follow her. I can't. What? Why follow her? I can't see. I used to watch um reactions to her. I can't say I've actually watched a full video on her. I just can't. She makes my skin crawl. She is just so vile, and I just it no. It just upsets me too much that people that she can be so disgusting and have absolutely no self-control, no respect, no self-respect. And I just can't. I just think it's awful. I think she's awful. Um she does have a lot of people that react to her, and yeah, I'm sure I could get a lot more. I'm sure I could get a lot more views if I started reacting to her. But do you know what? I can't. I can't lower myself, because that's how I would see it. I can't lower myself to have to talk about her, in depth, to have to actually react to her, because if I had to react to her, I would have to watch her. And when you're watching her, you're putting money in her purse. And I'm not doing that. And as I said, she makes my skin crawl. So no, I just can't. I can't. I just think she's gross. I mean, I've seen a little bit of Amberlyn Reid as well, but then again, through through reactions. I like Karina Kaboom. In fact, I was watching her when I was in the bath earlier, and I think she does it really well. She makes me laugh. I like the way she does it, and yeah, I like her. I like her delivery. Yeah. Anyway, so I've learned quite a lot about Amberlyn Reid from her, from Karina Kaboom, and you know, Amberlyn Reid has got such a bad reputation. But and because she lies to her followers, her subscribers. But do you know what? I don't think these subscribers care, because it's like that with Foodie. She'll go live and people will still be paying her money. People will still be throwing money at her. And I'm like, what? I can honestly say there is not a part of that woman that she hasn't flashed publicly. Sometimes I've had to unfollow people on Twitter because they've shown parts of Chantel that nobody wants to see. And it's not because they've had to dig deep into personal information. It's because Chantel films herself naked, legs akimbo, arse in the air, tits out, everything. And it's just crude rubbish. So, yeah. So there's that. How did we get onto that, guys? I don't know why we got onto that. Anyway, moving on. Somebody who is also disappearing before our eyes, not that Chantel is, because, oh yeah, she's gone over to Kuwait. This big lump of a woman has gone over to Kuwait and supposedly married some young guy. She's 39, going on 96, and that's based on her mobility. And he's 29, and I'm like, seriously? So anyway, I've been catching up. I've been seeing some of it because I've started going into this other creator's live streams that I really enjoy, called a Monty. He's Monty After Dark. And I like him because he's very relaxed. He's intelligent. He's got a sense of humor. He's got a lovely little giggle. And also because he was dragged through the coals a little while ago. Being an empath means that I can't help but be drawn to people who, over here we call them underdogs. And so I thought, "Do you know what? I'm going to check this guy out." And I like him. I mean, when I'm working, I quite often put his live stream on. I don't always chat in there. But I'm just there. I just like the vibe, and I'd love to be able to do something like that. But I think I'm too hyper to do that. I don't think I'm just too like histrionic, guys. Histrionic. But he is a very calm man. He doesn't raise his voice, and he talks a lot of sense. And all right, he does react to the Canadian blob. So I don't always come in when he's doing that, but he also reacts to some other scumbags online. One of them is called GG, which is called the Gaining Ground. I mean, of all the words, of all the names in the world, to choose when you start a YouTube channel, why would you choose gaining ground? What does that mean? You're gaining ground on somebody? I think that's too intelligent. I think that's too intellectual for him to think about that. But yeah, it always surprises me what people call themselves. I just call myself Jan. Jan's Views. That's who I am. Lump it or like it. Um, so yeah, so he's been reacting to him, and that's quite fascinating in a way because this guy, there's so much projection online. It's these people, they need to go to like see a psych and be diagnosed with something because the way they act, I'm not talking about Monty, I'm talking about these other scummy people. They act so appallingly, terribly. And one of them is someone called Vicky Vibes, a big lump of a woman, who I did a couple of videos with because she is very friendly with the nasty hustler person who is disappearing before our eyes. Thank God for that. Thank God. He's going. He's like a troll. I know he's like a snail, and people have thrown salt on him. So now he's just going. So now he's like sniveling and what's the word? Shrinking, bleating as he goes because the salt of truth has been thrown at him. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. So he's disappearing. So anyway, I was going to say about the lump. Vicky, if you look back at my other video, some of my videos, you'll see I did a couple of things, a couple of chats with her because she's friends with the hustler who does blackface. I don't care what anyone says. He does blackface. I'm offended. That's it. End of. Period. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what people say. Okay? He does blackface. He's offensive and he's a weirdo. Anyway, she was like, "Oh, I don't know what you meant. I didn't realise it was that. I did the yeah." No. Anyway, she was called out by Monty, and she was going hard for Monty and like saying, "Oh yeah, you're this and you're that," and projection again, guys. Why is it these people? Do you know what I've learned? The people that throw the most accusations out more than likely are that type of person themselves. I've realized that, guys. I'm gonna have to have a drink. So while I unstick my lips, I'm just gonna play you this. What am I gonna play you? I'm gonna play you this. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Right. Okay. Now you will see my Facebook page because now I'm thinking, let's go shopping. What a good idea. So I want to show you some fantastic things I've been doing. Fantastic boots. Look at these boots. Look at those boots. They are amazing. I don't care what anyone says. They're amazing, guys. So proud of them. I can't play any of the videos, music, because I'll be copyright stricken or whatever. Anyway, so if you look on my community, no, it's not actually on my shorts. I've been putting these up on my shorts videos, so that you can see some more things. I tell you what, guys, I'm so happy with how my shop's going. You know, it's difficult because as an abstract artist, not everybody gets your art, if you get what I mean. Some people, it's like with anything artistic or even musical, it's subjective, uh, or objective. No, it's subjective. So not everybody's going to like what you do. I'm I'm an abstract artist. I do graphic design. That dress there is a graphic design of mine. That is an original art piece of mine, Corona. That is digital. But one thing that I'm very proud of is I never ever use anybody else's artwork. It's all mine. And I'm very proud of that, guys, because a lot of artists do use other people's work. Um, Very much so in their finished art. And I no, I'm very sort of my art starts with me and ends with me. And yeah, there's no sort of in betweeners. It's all me. So anyway, love these dresses. Look at these dresses, guys. My daughter said to me the other day, she said, Mum, that's very much like another site. I've forgotten what it's called now. It's got a funny name. And when I looked at it, I could see it was quite similar. But let me tell you, mine was better. Mine was so much better. So I think this is actually a bit of a cheeky way of showing you what I'm doing. Um, and if you want to go shopping, you know where to look, because the things that I do on there are very, very unique. I've started branding, and so every piece has my brand on it, and I'm super happy with how it's going. I think. Oh, and I've also started doing kids stuff. Look at this. Look at this. Every time I see that, every time I work on the kiddies hoodies, I always imagine my grandson in it. And it's funny because the model, the child they use in the mock-ups looks a bit like my grandson. Um so yeah, I just have him in, in my mind when I do it. And see, the thing, honestly, I wish I'd found this store years ago, because I've still got my Teespring account, but this is better for me because I like all over prints. I think my art fits better to all over prints. Like this Hawaiian shirt. I mean, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? That's from a mixed media piece, which is called oh, Cuba. Cuba. That I got hanging in the art room. Um, and I just think this is, oh, and I did it in a little girl's dress as well. And mummy's dress. I just wish that I'd known about this before. I mean, Teespring's good, But I honestly believe this has got more things on it. I mean, I haven't even started with the home stuff that they've got. I mean, look, to me, this looks like um a knitted jumper, doesn't it? But it's not, it's a hoodie. But I love that design. That's a graphic. I think this is all graphic here. But I think that's lovely, and I'm tempted. Look at this little boy. He's like my grandson. And I just love that. I just love it. I don't know if I got that in a adults or not. That's I just love it. I just think it's gorgeous. Anyway, that's enough of that. I was going to say this is a podcast. It isn't, is it? So I can, yeah. Anyway, so that's my Facebook group. If you want to pop over and join and see everything that's on there, I've got that page, which I do a lot on. I work on a lot. I've also got a group. I don't know why I've got the group, to be honest with you, because this page is better, I have to say. And then I did another London design because I know the Americans love London. So this is the latest London design. And I've got that design on. Look at this. I love that. I love it. So yeah, so that's the shopping. That's the shopping done. Okay. Right, Jan, get out of there. How do I get, yeah. Okay, we're back. So I'm gonna finish now on something that I started last week, which I thought was, quite a nice touch. I don't know whether people really like it, but it's something that I want to be doing on my lives. I enjoy writing. I've written for years. I've written poetry, I've written lyrics, I've written songs, and I just thought, you know what? On my live stream, it might be quite nice to read, some of my blog to you. Obviously, I have to be careful, because there's still nasties out there. There's still people that think I'm a nasty piece of work. Do you know? Let them think what they like. It really doesn't matter, guys, does it? To be perfectly honest, how much does it matter? It doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's open this up. So I'm now going to read to you another section of my blog. And oh, my lips are sticking together again. For goodness sakes, what's wrong with me? Jeez Louise. Anyway, so this one, I'm not reading poetry this week or this time. I'm just reading about what I wrote. I don't know when I wrote this. Years ago. Yeah, my grandson's 10 now. So we're looking at least 10 years ago. Anyway, I digress. So the bit I'm going to read to you is just what I put about my creativity, because it's something that I'm really grateful for. I've had a lot of things happen in my life, and things that haven't always gone right. And but I call myself a survivor. I am a survivor. And one of the reasons I'm a survivor is because I have a uh, creative outlet. And I think that's very important, guys. Um, it's like I see so many angry people online who obviously don't have any form of outlet. And for me, it's really important to have an outlet. So, just having another drink, bear with. So this is what I wrote as a sort of just explaining my creativity. And I put, this is my new blog that I plan to dedicate to poetry and verse. I sincerely hope you enjoy it. I never have and never will be a willing conformist, but isn't that what makes us all different? Wanting to put our own stamp on things or challenge perceived normality and conformity. Do you ever feel that no one understands you? As much as you try to articulate your argument, the words seem insufficient and don't quite come out as you would wish. Okay, I know I may be in a lull, a depressive void, a stressy mood, whatever you want to call it. But what frustrates me more than anything is the fact that I actually seem unable to articulate properly. Or is it just that I do not have the ability or vocabulary to voice the true meaning of what I'm trying to say? Do I really have to search out a fellow depressive to find someone who can actually understand me? Well, that was a bit deeper than I thought it was going to be. Ah, anyway, moving on. Next paragraph. People say surround yourself with positivity. Maybe they don't live in the real world. Have they tried living one single day in my shoes? Or there is always the very helpful suggestion that maybe you shouldn't think about what you don't have and focus on what you do have. Well, yes, on a positive day, that is possible, but when you feel under attack from all angles, it is not quite so easy and straightforward to implement. I then put my favourite quote: "The world is a stage, and all the people merely players." Since hearing that quote, I have lived my life by it, believing it, and qualifying my life by it. It is impossible for me to sit still for more than a few minutes unless I am doing something creative, i.e., working on my laptop, writing, painting, jewelry making, crocheting, or something else equally creative. It drives my nearest and dearest crazy because they think I'm incapable of relaxing. They don't realize that being creative in any way possible is the way I relax and that I get enormous, cathartic, and immensely cool, calming therapy by doing so. To sit in a chair may well rest my body, but my mind is constantly active, and I feel the best way to satisfy my need for stimulation is to be creatively active. I've written poetry and verse for many years, either in the form of lyrics or poems. Many times I have found this to be therapeutic in times of stress and anxiety. The same must be said for my artwork. We all need a let out clause. Creativity just happens to be mine. Okay, so that was that bit. It was a bit deeper than I thought it was going to be, but hey, I still agree with everything I wrote there. So, yeah, I hope that by going live to myself, um, that people will, get to know the real Jan, but then, does it really matter? Not really, guys. Um, but I think there's something that's really important to realize is that there are people out there who have absolutely nothing. They don't have a talent. They don't have um a time to relax and produce something. For me, as long as I'm producing something, I'm a happy bunny. So, yeah, that's that. That went quite, yeah. We all right there, Aska? She's looking at me as if to say, Mum, you going to feed me or what? Anyway, so I'm going to love you and leave you and look forward to um seeing you again soon. I enjoy doing this. Just a little ramble. A ramble to myself. It was organised, but it still went down the pan in the middle, didn't it? But hey ho, and away we go. Doesn't matter, Jan. Please check out my other videos. Give a like to this video if you wouldn't mind. And I'll catch you in the next one. You take care of yourselves out there. It's a rotten old world. Bye-bye for now.